Welcome back. So we've actually should have this video out within a week from the last one, which is a success on my behalf and Amy's. So we kind of had a request to do like a more start to finish video. So basically this is the rear end of the car. It's the tube work, the bumper support and mounting the trunk. This is a 2F trunk and 2F fenders. I'm actually super stoked, to be honest, with how it's all come out. It all fits pretty sick for a drift car, to be honest with you. This is, you know, she's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. So, you know, it's got a little bit of movement here, but I'm super stoked with it, to be honest. So basically we're going to go through what we did and how we did it. I'll start with some of the most disappointing stuff first and go to the cool stuff. So I ordered some 1 3/4 accidentally. I really wanted 1.5 065 wall, but I ordered 1 3/4 and this happened. Boop. Oh. So the old bender was not happy with that diameter and that thickness pipe. So spoke to one of my fabricator friends and he was like, yeah, seen that before, just get some play sand. So we got some play sand, some kids play sand. We filled the tube up, taped up one end, filled it up completely, taped up the other end, and that got the job done. She's definitely not a perfect bend, but it got the job done, and this is what we came up with. This is our rear bash bar setup. Pretty simple bar. We'll see it on the car in a minute, but I put the effort in this time to make one bar, then make a jig, and then make a second bar. So we've actually got 2 rear crash bars. I got all my super fancy drawings here for the whole lot, all the bends and everything. So that's sweet. And then this was the other jig that I made that you can see here. That second jig is for the bumper supports. So I kind of stole that idea off my friend Dan. Had a look at his car, one of the vents we were at. He used a lot of bar in the back there. That's kind of a sweet idea. You can hit stuff and bend it back. So we put our own spin on the bar job. So you'll see how that's mounted, but essentially these are our rear bumper supports and have them all jigged up as well. So if we hit something, a wall, a car, a barrier, hopefully I don't hit it hard enough and we can just bend it back at the track. But if I get really excited, we have a second set of them as well. So yeah, that's basically, we got the fenders mounted, which you seen in the last video, and then the rest of it is what we've done now. So we'll go through on the car what we've done. It's basically all 3/8 rod and 1 3/4 pipe. So we'll get this trunk lid off right here. So the trunk lid's supported by some non-genuine quick latch. She all fits pretty sweet. So we'll go through what we did there first. So we welded some little standoffs to the body and then bolted and nutted the quick latch pin through the body so she's nice and solid. Did that on each end, tried to keep them as vertical as we can. And then our next step was these bad boys here. This is does have some movement, so hopefully if this, because what we noticed on when we did some good crashing this season, we noticed that when we hit one side of the car, it kind of just smashed the whole other side and the trunk lid and everything got destroyed. So hopefully with what we've done here this time, we can hit the trunk lid, hit the corner of the car. Hopefully some of that stuff bends instead of breaking, and we can bend it back and keep running for the rest of the day. So that's the thought behind that idea, we'll call it. So that's trunk support. Then you can see in here, that's the bumper support. So we've got plenty of room for heating stuff. So basically, when you're looking at this whole corner here, from here, it's 100% just fiberglass moving, which is kind of what we're aiming for. That gives me like a 300 to 400 mil of error. So if I'm planning to be, I don't know, 100 mil off the wall, I can now be 500 mil offline, and hopefully it doesn't put the front end into the car. So that's the idea behind this whole setup here. That's basically it. So we got a 400 mil crumple zone before it really gets into anything bad. Hopefully this will be our first piece to move, the 3/8 rod down there. And if that moves, that's really not a big deal. We can either straighten it if it's just a slight bend, or I'll have that other set in the trailer we're getting, and yeah, just swap them out and keep going. Then we got the quick latch, China quick latch. So we got 4 of them holding the rear bar on. We're running the cut bar that I don't know, some people are not really a fan of the cut bar, but I kind of like the look of it, to be honest with you, and it's pretty sweet for getting hot air out of the trunk. So that's what it's getting. So 2 more quick latches down here. I actually got this gap fitting pretty good for a drift car, to be honest with you, and the bumper's supported pretty well, so nothing worse than having the bumper falling off all the time. That kind of sucks. So this thing should be only coming off if I do some real dumb stuff. So that's that support. We've then got our, we did this is like something new I'm trying. This is kind of like a support that I hope will take a bit of a hit, but flex as well. So it's supported here to our bar over there. Should be able to take a hit from this way coming in, because what I'm trying to get rid of, or I'm going to get rid of, which we won't do in this video or the next, I'm just going to cut it, so not going to be a video on it, but from here, 120 mil, I'm going to cut this whole area out, and I'm going to cut this one out as well, and that's going to allow, hopefully, that when I hit one side of the car, it can just kind of move that side and go back, rather than hitting it and pushing the whole other side across. So that's the idea behind these bad boys. That's just putting some support onto these rear quarter panels. It's not super fancy or anything, it's just a fiberglass rod with some little brackets we've tigged up here, so that should be pretty sweet. So we got our rear bumper support, we got our rear crash bar, which I'll whip off right now. This rear bumper comes off pretty easy, and then we've got our little fiberglass rods. That's basically 4 days work. So that's basically where we're at. We'll rip this bumper off real quick so you can kind of see what's going on there, and then that would be the whole rear end tube stuff done. So let's get that off real quick. There's a couple of cable ties to cut. So there's actually, I'll show you where they are. Cut those bad boys. So to get one thing that's really hard, that I find really hard on a drift car, it's getting this line here to kind of not look ridiculously terrible. So we've actually done cable ties basically here and here just to pull that together. Super simple. I'll show you in here. They're just this one here. So I figure cable ties, if I hit something hard enough, probably just going to break. So they're nice and easy to replace. We can always drill some more holes or do some more fiberglassing. So that's basically, there's 4 cable ties in there. Quick latch on each side. And these bad boys, I'm going to do this because I need 2 hands. Rear bash bar. So that's the rear bash bar. It's got the supports, we got templates. The rear of this car is actually kind of bent, to be honest with you, from hitting so much stuff, but she's good enough for what we're going to do with it. So basically that's the whole rear end, start to finish of what we've done. Should be pretty solid, should work pretty well. We still haven't tidied up the underside of these quarters, so I'm going to do that 100% off video. Probably won't even put it in a video because it's kind of boring, but we're just going to kind of make it look as good as we can under there, ready to blast some paint on. So it's basically the rear end of this car, and how we did it, why we did it, and hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See what the next project is. Enjoy.